Hola YouTube, welcome back to the Tim Reptile channel. We've had some exciting news today that we're going to be doing a video with one of our favourite UK YouTubers in the coming weeks. But today we're going to be looking at this species here. One of the tiniest snakes you're ever going to see in captivity. It's a hatchling rough-scale green snake. So I'm going to put this guy away because they don't do well being handled much, and we'll get on with the video. So I guess this is an unboxing video. This is a species I've been waiting 20 years to keep again. Waiting for captive bred stock. It's not really packaged how I wanted. The tub was my friend who collected these from the breeder for me. And there they are. Cool, right, let's get them in. No messing. Sorry this won't be the most professional video, but I hope you can appreciate it. I just want to get these guys settled in ASAP. It's about 7 o'clock and the window for delivery was between 5:15 and 7:15, so I've been up a couple of hours already. There's a poop in here, which is a good sign. Oh, these guys are amazing, but they are incredibly tiny. Oh my god. These guys are fantastic. So that's a standard cricket tub. There's my finger near them, just for scale. They're absolutely tiny. Beautiful. I'm so happy. As I say, I've been waiting 20 years for this. Oh my god, they are so tiny. So tiny. Beauties. Right. Video will have to stop. When I get these guys fed, I can spray them a little bit, don't make it too damp. Get a bit in there. Oh my god, brilliant. So, I hope you could handle the excitement of me opening up these snakes. When I say I've been waiting 20 years for these, I kept a well-caught specimen when I was 15 years of age, which is a long time ago. And unfortunately, I think due to it being a well-caught specimen, it only lasted about 6 months. There were probably other factors. That was pre-internet, really. There was very little information out there. I did purchase a book on them, and that suggested keeping them in a paludarium as one of the things. Keeping them with anoles, which I did, which I will not be doing now. This is a species which stresses very easily, so I won't be cohabbing them with any other species. They do, however, cohab well with each other, apparently, which is why I've got a group of 3. So this is the rough green snake, native to the southeastern states, namely Florida is one of its strongholds. Latin name for it is Opheodrys aestivus. The only other colubrid that it could be confused with in its range would be the smooth green snake. Same genus Opheodrys, but different species Vernalis. It has a few other common names. One is the Florida green snake. It's called the green grass snake. So always have a look at the Latin if you're looking at purchasing one. These are fairly common in the UK pet market. However, captive bred specimens aren't as common. They are becoming a little more common. I've found 3 sources or potential sources in the last 2 years, but these are the only ones I've managed to secure and get to us. So throughout my research into the species this time round, what I found was a lot of people said the wild caughts could be maintained in captivity. However, they need to be fed a wild diet. The flora of their gut seems to require the wild diet. So you could give them field sweepings of wild insects, arthropods from pesticide-free areas, and maybe wean them onto a more commercialized diet. while I'm not 100% against keeping wild caught, sometimes I think it's necessary to establish captive bred populations within the hobby or within zoos or what have you. If it is possible to obtain captive bred individuals, I'll always endeavour to get them. So that's why it's taken so long to get these snakes in our collection. So why have we chosen the rough-scale green snakes? Well, I think having them a long time ago and having failed with them spurred me on to want them again. So you don't really treat these guys quite the same as you would most other snakes. For a start, they're insectivorous, which may be better for you, may be worse for you, depending on how you feel about insects, arthropods, and the like, and dead rodents. Perhaps these are the thing for you. They're not unique, but there aren't many insectivorous snakes within the hobby currently. Although I think I saw some Decay's brown snakes earlier this year. So immediately, this is within 5 minutes of the last video, I dumped some waxworms in, and one of them straight away. I think I'm going to need to get some smaller prey items for them. I've got crickets, fruit flies, etc. here, but these guys prefer soft-bodied insects. So I think I'll be doing a silkworm order later for some tiny silkworms. Amazing. So something else that came up during the research was these guys, it's not as simple as chuck a few dusty crickets in with them. They need a varied diet. They have a preference for soft-bodied grubs. So here, as you've just heard me say, immediately we had some eating waxworms, which I was really happy about. One of them we didn't see eat at all, and it was the smallest of the 3 that we got. So I was quite concerned. So I thought silkworms might be the answer to keeping these guys. Put a big order into the silkworm store. There was an error with the order, but they rectified it really quickly and efficiently, so I'd highly recommend them. But anyway, we got our silkworms, and the smallest one, which we hadn't seen eat for the first 4 or 5 days of us having him, he ate straight away. And they consistently smash the silkworms. Quite often I find putting prey items right in front of them doesn't really help. They need to hunt them down and stumble upon them themselves. I'm yet to see one eat a cricket, but they do show a lot of hunting activity. So this is the smallest snake that we've got, and you'll see him now. He just makes a grab for it once he finds it, and they just chew it down. That's their method of killing. There's no constricting, nothing else, just get it in the mouth and chew it down. So I think these guys are fairly easy for them to eat. That might be why there's a preference for them. The other thing I've heard that they like is small house spiders and the like. We've yet to do that, and I don't know if I will, because it's a wild prey item. As these guys are captive bred, I don't know if I want to introduce wild prey items with the risks of parasites. I don't think the risk of parasites is high, but I'd need more assurance before I go down that route. So once this guy's done eating, he gets it down him, similar to how you'd expect any other snake. You see it wiggle down the body, and then once he's got it down him, he's quite happy to go for a journey through all the pothos. They do like the dense foliage. That's something they need to feel secure. And then go across up to the high point just under the basking light to aid digestion. So the basking light for these guys is set to about 30-32 degrees Celsius. That's going up to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And then on the cooler side, we have it at about 23-24 degrees Celsius, which is the equivalent to about 73-75 Fahrenheit. Humidity for these guys is a bit of a tricky one, really. If you get it too humid, they sort of develop blue blisters. If it's too dry, they can be dehydrated. You want a well-ventilated enclosure with plenty of humid hides or humid areas, and creating a humidity gradient will help as well. This tank isn't the best for that. A Euro-style Dart Frog Viv, this is really. However, it's all I had for them, so small. I've got a lot larger vivariums I was going to put them into, but they would just get lost in them. I'm not sure how secure they would be to keep them in. So this is the safest option I have available to me at the moment, I believe, and I try to keep one side humid and the other side quite dry so they can pick and choose how humid an environment they want to be in. Now, as this is a diurnal species, you are going to want full UVB for these guys. With heat coming from an overhead light emitting bulb, ideally, we've got a halogen on these guys. Here's a recording of some weird behaviour we noticed them all doing. It's sort of peristaltic movement. Not sure what it's about, but I think it's in reference to it elsewhere. If anyone's got any information on that sort of movement, leave a comment below. It would be very much appreciated. And here's a close-up of our smallest specimen we've got. You see they're really active in the day. One of the advantages of having a diurnal species. And when you add to that you can keep them communally, when you're looking at the tank, there's always going to be something going on. So while these guys are really small at the moment, they can grow to nearly 4 foot long. But I wouldn't say they compared to something like a milk snake that was 4 foot long, or certainly not a boyd like a royal python that would be 4 foot long. They remain very thin, barely thicker than a pen, even when fully grown. In the wild, they're quite often found near bodies of water, so it may be worth considering having a water feature that has moving water or a dripper dripping into a water bowl, as long as that doesn't increase the humidity too much. As I said, this is a temporary solution for these guys before they go into their forever home, which we're constructing currently, which will be including a water feature and a fairly substantial body of water. So in conclusion, this is probably my favourite species of snake. Probably because, really speaking, I consider myself more of a lizard man, and the care and behaviour of these snakes is probably more akin to that of small insectivorous lizards rather than other species of snakes that are familiar within the hobby. So if you're looking for a beautiful display species that eats insects as opposed to rodents, is a diurnal species that is going to be active during the day but won't do too well if handled on a frequent basis and is best left alone, this might be the species for you. I hope you found this video informative. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing. Leave a comment below, let us know how you feel about the video and the channel, and we'll try and get back to you if you've got any questions. Again, if you know anything about that oscillating movement, we'd like to hear about it also. Take care, YouTube. Thanks for watching.